Hey, Matt at Matt Travel. If I got a story for you, I'm Robin Robinson, and I'm the author of The History of Whiskey in 100 Bottles, Barrels, and More. And we're going to travel all the way back to, ready for this, Neolithic era. Where did this all come from? Whiskey's only 400 or 500 years old. We're going to go back thousands and thousands of years to the very beginning. Someone had the idea of putting different things into a pot. A pot, right? I'm going to put some seeds, I'm going to put some herbs, I'm going to put a roots, put a little bit of water, put a little bit of sunshine on it. I'm going to get an elixir of some sort. Or maybe I'm going to put fat and chicken and fish in there and some herbs. I'm going to get a stew out of that. And eventually, what that turns into is something actually more medicinal. But it's not until we understand that things rot. And when things rot, they ferment. That's the whole idea of fermentation. Fermentation is when natural organic things break down. Now, the first fermentations, the first buzz that we ever got as human beings was when we were hunters and gatherers. And we're out on a hunt. And we're tracking down bisons or some big kind of like, big beast. And we're traveling days and days with our hunting companions. And on the way, we said, oh, wow, is that fruit? Wow, that's really delicious. And there's these things that we now think are grapes, and those are delicious too. Boy, I'll bet everyone back at the cave or back at the hut would really love this. So you know what? I've got a goat skin right here. I'm going to stick a whole bunch of this stuff in here, and I'll take it back to them for them to eat. They're going to love it like I did. But wait a minute. I still have the hunt to do. So now I got to go down and track this thing down. We got to kill it. We got to clean it. We got to drag it back. By the time I get back to the hut, it's 3 or 4 days. And guess what happened? That kind of rotted a little bit. It fermented. It turned sour. And that's where we today get the taste for sour things from that point. But somebody in that cave, perhaps the women, perhaps other people, took that sour stuff, that fermented stuff, and they did other things with it. They put some fruit in there to make it taste better. And now you see where we're going, right? The other thing that they found out is if I eat this stuff, I feel a little happier than I did before I did eat it. And that's our first time out of mind as human beings, our first buzz. This is happening with fruit because fruit already has sugar in it and it's already got yeast on top of it. So that doesn't take much. When we stopped hunting and gathering and we started staying still, we became farmers. And the first thing that we farmed was grains because grains were just weeds that were out there that were easy. But the grains had to be broken down. So we would go out and we would farm this stuff. We would gather this stuff up. Maybe we'd put it in some bags or some big clay pots and we'd leave it there. We'd forget about it and the rains would come and it would get it soaked and it would rot. Well, that rotting created fermentation and that was our first beer. That had an elevatedness to it. So now between wine and beer, we're not only tasting our first taste of fermentation, but we're first getting our first buzzes at the same time. But it's thousands of years later until the Arabs create the act of distilling, of purifying that, and then passing that on to the monks of the Middle Ages. And that is how we got first wine and brandy, and then eventually whiskey. And that is one of the stories in the history of whiskey in 100 bottles and barrels and more. Thank you, Matt, for allowing me to tell you that story.